Hello everyone, welcome to Baseball Chat. Today we have our first guest on the show, a Dodger fan. I'm going to give my friend Benji a call. Let's get it going.
Hey, Joseph.
Benji, today we have a Dodger fan.
Well, I'm excited to hear his perspective on what the Dodgers have to bring this season.
This Dodger fan comes from all the way from the homeland, Los Angeles, California, so he's a real Dodger fan, and we're very excited to have him on. And his name is Oren, and we're going to give him a ring.
Hey guys,
Oren, what's going on?
going good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Doing well.
Benji's not doing too great because he's talking to a Dodger fan, rather talk to a Yankee fan. But it is what it is today,
Hey, anything's better than an Astros or Rays fan, though.
It's true.
That's true. We're definitely better than a Red Sox fan because we did promise at the beginning of this podcast that we would never, ever have a Red Sox fan on here. So that's good. But Oren, tell us how your Dodgers are doing this year.
Well, okay. So Dodgers, as of today, as of the day of this recording, September 5th, the Dodgers have lost 4 out of the past 5. I don't care what happened the rest of the season because they had a kind of a slow start and they picked up and they had a great month of August. But then they played the Braves, who are the best team. They lost 3 out of 4, and they just lost tonight 6-3 to the Marlins. So right now, I'm not thinking their situation is so good.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Their situation's a little bit better than the Yankees, but that's a whole nother story.
I mean, Dodgers right now, they're still leading the NL West by 13 and a half games. So
Yeah, they pretty much have this taken care of.
Yeah, I have no doubt the Dodgers are going to make the playoffs, but they're not going to run into the playoffs. They're definitely going to limp into the playoffs. That's what I think, like every year.
There was definitely a point at the beginning of the year where I'm like, what's going on with the Dodgers? They're like doing pretty poorly. But I mean, as you can see, in the rest of the division, San Francisco fell out of it big time. 15 games out of first place, but I remember at one point I think they were pretty up there at the top. I mean, I may be wrong.
I think the D-backs were leading for the first 2 months of the season. I could be wrong about that also. And then the Dodgers just overtook everyone.
Yep. Well, I mean, they got some of the best players in the game. Oren, how do you feel about your boy Kershaw?
Well, on September 5th, Kershaw had an okay start. He had no decision. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs against the Marlins, it's all right. But otherwise, having a solid season. He has 12 wins. The ERA is I think 2.6, which is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the top 5 in the National League. The regular season doesn't really matter to me. I just want to see success in the playoffs.
Right. He's definitely struggled in the playoffs, like pretty much every single postseason. Maybe one of them, I think he did pretty decent, but they're paying him like nothing this year. The Dodgers they're giving him like pennies. If he went to another team, he could be making a lot more money. But, he is one of the best pitchers of our generation.
I would argue that he is the best pitcher of our generation. It's between him and Verlander, I would say.
Well, I would take him any day over Verlander, if you ask me.
Nah, same here.
But Freeman and Betts, apparently they're like buddies or something. They have like a bromance going on. And, they're 2 of the best players in the game. When you got 2 of the best players in the game and sync with each other and they're hanging out, they're going to produce a lot of runs for you. And I think that's what's happening this year.
Yeah, definitely. So Betts had a okay start. He had a slower start, and then he really picked up in August. I just, like I said before, the regular season doesn't really concern me. I wish he has a hot streak in October, September, October. That would be ideal if he had his MVP month in October, but all we can do is hope. And Freeman is just a beast. He's been doing well since the beginning of the season. So I'm happy.
I don't think he's ever had like a bad season ever.
Yeah, I mean, he won MVP on the Braves.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a Brave for life.
We all did, and it's thanks to his agent. For those out there who don't know the story, his agent didn't tell him the final deal that the Braves were going to make him. I'm not sure what the final deal was. I don't think he ever said the numbers. But there was another deal on the table by the Braves, and he just didn't tell him.
What do you think it was? Do you think it was something that would have kept him there?
I mean, I think so, because Freeman had been there. He got drafted there. He won a ring with the Braves. I think he would have loved to have run it back with them. And unfortunately, just his agent got greedy. And I think there was more money for him to make.
Right. Okay. So that basically explains it. No matter what that offer was, it wouldn't have mattered because the money. I mean, if Freeman was following the money, then it doesn't matter what that deal was at the end of the day, anyways.
But the Braves were already going to sign Matt Olson. So I heard that Freeman wasn't looking to re-sign with the Braves because the Braves already had a plan to sign Matt Olson.
Well,
Was
it
was
worked out pretty well for you, Oren. You got a great first baseman.
And it also worked out for the Braves because Matt Olson is, I think, he's leading the league. He's leading the National League with home runs. So it also worked out for the Braves.
Yeah, I guess it worked out in the long run for everyone.
it's probably gonna be another like Dodgers Braves NLCS, and I gotta say the Braves pitching staff, I think it's stronger than the Dodgers at this point.
Hundred
Well, the
percent.
Dodgers pitching staff is having some issues, right now. Someone got suspended. Uh-oh.
Well, problems with the Dodgers pitching staff is nothing new. Happens every single year. Every single year, also towards September, October time. So
So you're saying like every October someone gets suspended for domestic violence?
I'm saying every October the pitching staff kind of slowly crumbles.
That's a problem. So that's when you need them.
Exactly, 100%.
So for everyone who doesn't know what we're talking about here, Oren, why don't you give everyone a rundown on which pitcher got suspended and what kind of year he was having, what kind of impact he was making on the team?
So Julio Urias, is the one who got arrested for domestic violence. Um, he's charged with domestic violence. So he's probably not going to pitch the rest of the season. He was having an okay season. He had a 4.6 ERA. He had 11 wins, 8 losses. So he was having an okay season, but it's just another hit to the already weakened Dodgers staff because Bueller was injured from last year already with his Tommy John surgery, and Dustin May got out early in the season. So that's two starting pitchers right there. And yeah, it's not looking good for the Dodgers pitching staff.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. What do you think, Benji? You think that's it? You think the Dodgers are done? Gonna crumble apart?
I don't think the Dodgers will crumble apart. I
Like
do
in the
think,
postseason, because they're obviously, I think they're gonna get there, obviously. In the postseason, you think they're gonna fall apart?
unfortunately, Oren, yeah, I do believe so because history is not on the Dodgers side. I don't see them because in the postseason, pitching wins. It doesn't matter how well you hit, pitching wins. And outside of Kershaw, who do the Dodgers realistically have? Tony Gonsolin, maybe?
That's
Like,
a solid pitcher. Tony Gonsolin's a solid pitcher. Had a good season last season, having a good season this season. But that's just two pitchers.
yeah,
It's not a one and done like the NFL.
That is
and
true.
yeah, but like I'm saying, outside of Kershaw and Gonsolin, the Dodgers don't really have the depth to match up against a team like say the Braves, who Max Fried, Spencer Strider, they have other pitchers. I'm just trying to. Oh, Bryce Elder also. He's having a great rookie season.
I mean, the Braves are a very scary team.
Yeah, they also have an insane powerhouse offense with Acuna, who had the first ever 30-60 and MLB season ever, and
Wait,
they have
Oren, did you say Acuna? Do you know that Benji is like a big fanboy of Acuna?
Acuna. That's a good player.
Favorite player, not favorite non-Yankee player.
He's so good. It's actually crazy how he has his 30 home runs and 60 stolen base season, and he's also batting like 330 or something like that, maybe even higher. And Austin Riley, a good player. Matt Olson, great player. He's leading the National League in home runs.
This is the scariest part about the Braves. Every one of those players that you mentioned, I believe, are like 29 and younger.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're a
probably.
pretty young team.
Acuna's, I don't know, 25, and Matt Olson's 28, I think, maybe even younger. Matt Olson, yeah, also on the younger, like, he's still in his prime. And Ozzy Albies, also pretty young.
Like,
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to the Dodgers.
good luck to MLB for the next 10 years.
Oh God. So, Oren, I have an important question to ask you.
Okay.
What is your top Dodger moment that you've experienced in your lifetime?
Okay. like live or like watching it?
Both.
Okay, both. So for anyone who doesn't know, probably everyone, my favorite player of all time is Russell Martin. Okay, I think he is
Ooh.
no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer, and if he's not, it's a crime against humanity. Okay, Russell Martin. So the first game I ever
You
remember
mean
watching.
former Yankee? Former Yankee.
I mean, he
Yep.
went on the Yankees, but he did repentance and went back to the Dodgers at the end of his career, so it's all good. My first
I,
game I ever remember watching. Yeah, what do you want to say?
I just have a comment about the future Hall of Famer thing. I loved Russell Martin when he was on the Yankees. Great catcher for them. I would have to disagree of him being a first ballot Hall of Famer, however.
Well, I think he deserves it, but we'll see what the baseball writers of America say. But I'm putting in my vote for Russell Martin.
Okay.
Anyway, who by the way is I think one of the most underrated clutch hitters of all time. If you look at the amount of walk-up situations he's been in, like when he was on the Dodgers, it's crazy. Anyway, when the first game I ever remember watching, it was Dodgers Padres. I don't know, I was probably 5 or 6 years old. Goes no score into the bottom of the ninth, and Russell Martin hits a walk-off home run. And then I said from that day on, Russell Martin is my favorite player of all time. That was my favorite Dodger watching moment, and my favorite live moment. So 2009 NLDS Game Two. Dodgers are playing the Cardinals. They're down 2-1 in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, and they somehow get the bases loaded, and up comes former Dodger legend Mark Loretta. He hits a soft liner to left field, and I'm at this game. I'm watching this happen live, and it's one. So you know how the ball's coming at your waist and above, you turn your glove one way, and if it's coming waist below, you turn it towards the ground. So this is a liner right at his waist, and he kind of got confused, and he twisted his glove the wrong way, and the ball bounced off him, and the Dodgers tied the game, and then had a walk off hit. I think the next batter or in 2 batters, and that was one of the craziest games I've ever been at because they were down by 2 in the bottom ninth, 2 outs, and they came back and won the game. They didn't win the World Series that year, but great moment.
That definitely sounds like a great moment, right, Benji?
What one of the best moments I would have to say, yeah.
You're a lucky guy, and I appreciate that. Your best moment of watching a game when you saw Russell Martin for the very first time, how you're like, you know what? That is my guy right there. There was
Yeah,
no bandwagon. There was no, peer pressure. It was just boom, there he is, Russell Martin. That's your guy.
it's my guy. And
I thought Justin Turner was your guy.
well, when Russell Martin left the Dodgers, I had to have a favorite current Dodger, and I'm a redhead. Justin Turner's a redhead, and he had a great career with the Dodgers, and you know I think he's having a great season still with the Red Sox. He's batting 287, and the Dodgers should have signed him, but they didn't. I don't know why, because he's the second greatest player of all time after Russell Martin, and I don't know what happened. Dodgers didn't sign him, and he's having a great season. He has 20 plus home runs, and he's batting 287 last time I checked. So
I remember Justin Turner in his Mets days because we also have a friend who's a redhead, so he loved Justin Turner as well because of that. And he was pissed that they got rid of him when he went to the Dodgers.
yeah, I was mad
Yeah.
when the Dodgers didn't sign him.
Uh, the Dodgers probably should have re-signed him. I think he's definitely underratedly like a very clutch hitter,
Yeah,
just JT. And I think at this point in his career, though, he's more of a DH player.
probably he plays first for the Red Sox. So
Yeah,
You
Dodgers
don't have
had
to do much over there at first base. You don't really have to do much. You kind of just stand there.
yeah, but you have to scoop bad throws.
Yeah, I mean you do, but
First
better
base is
than
a
third base.
first base is a blast. I remember in my high school days, I played first base a few times. That is a fun position because no matter what, basically all the action comes to you. Because if the ground ball to anyone in the infield, it's coming to you.
Yeah, and I guess even if your team's losing, at some point the ball will come to you.
Yeah, basically, it's guaranteed.
So we also have a bit of a common enemy thanks to 2017 Astros when they
That's right.
cheated. Well, when they cheated us out of watching the Yankees Dodgers World Series,
Oh, they did. They cheated us real good, and they got away with it too.
they got a slap on the wrist. Like, oh no, AJ hit their managers got fired for a year, and they're both managing again.
But don't worry, I think they're trying to manage all their World Series rings on their fingers.
The, honestly, the person who got the worst out of that was Carlos Beltran because he was set to have a managing job with the Mets, and then the story broke out, and because he was part of that team, they're like, yeah, we don't want any bad news for us, so you're not gonna be our manager.
I'm going to do something for the first time. Probably never hear me do. You know what? I'm actually going to commend the Mets for that, which is something I never do because they actually did not put up with that garbage. And they said, you know what? That's not okay. Unlike, I don't even want to call him the commissioner, but this guy's crazy. He says, like, years later, oh, you know what? I probably should have prosecuted them more. He didn't even do anything to them. What did he do? Nothing. They have their World Series.
The only thing he did was stop them from getting the first draft pick, I think, the next year, and he fined them like $5 million.
Ooh, yeah, that really hurts. That really hurts a team that's, worth millions and millions of dollars. Oh, $5 million. That's like pennies to them. It's a joke. There was a lot of crap that went on. Really got to Yankee fans, and it definitely got to Dodger fans. Oren, how do you feel about this?
Well, as you probably understand, I have very strong feelings about this. I remember I saw a interview with Cody Bellinger when the whole scandal came out, and Bellinger said, "Yeah, everyone knows they stole the World Series from us," and I completely agree with Cody Bellinger. When I was talking to my friends who are Yankees fans, they're like, I hate how Dodgers fans say that, oh, the Astros stole the ring from the Dodgers because they're assuming the Dodgers would have beat the Yankees. Well, as a Dodgers fan, I have to believe the Dodgers would have won the World Series. It wasn't for the Astros cheating. So I said the Astros stole the ring from the Dodgers. I'm not a big Astros fan. Hated that they won the World Series last year. I hate that.
Yeah, it definitely stung too for us. But you touched upon something, and I disagree with you, Oren. What makes you think that the Dodgers would have beat the Yankees in the World Series? Not a chance.
Because I'm a Dodgers fan, I have to believe the Dodgers would have won that World Series because they had the greatest season and all the players were having good seasons, and I have to believe it. I don't know what would have happened, but I have to believe it.
Well, I believe we should have both met in the World Series, but obviously that would have been number 28 for the Yankees, right, Benji?
28 if they were able to get there, yeah.
But
Well,
you
right
see,
now
this
I'm looking.
happened to the Yankees twice, two times. The Dodgers did win a World Series on the books in 2020, but I don't consider it a World Series win because if you're not playing 162 games, that's not a World Series win. I know it was a COVID year, but come on. If you win spring training, that doesn't mean you're the best team. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It was basically the same games as spring training. It was a shortened season. I don't count it. If you want to win the World Series, play a full regular season and prove that you can do it. No offense, Oren.
Okay, Joseph. So if you're saying that 162 is the amount of games you have to play to be considered a full season, so you can't count any of the Yankees World Series before 1960 because they only played 154 games a season. So all the World Series in the 20s and 30s and 40s are nullified, I guess.
Hey, you know what? Even if they are nullified, I just looked up when 162 games started. In the American League, it started in 1961. The NL started in 1962. So even if you want to say, hey, 162 games, the Yankees still have the most World Series of all time.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
No,
You
it's
see,
okay.
Oren, the Yankees always come out on top, and they will come out on top.
In the past, it's
They
all
will
right.
get number 28. The Astros can try to cheat their way through it, but you know what? What was that? Their first World Series win ever when they cheated? Was that the first one?
Yep.
Okay, so that didn't count. So maybe last year was their first one. But even if they won one, I believe they're down just by a few, Maybe if they try a little harder, maybe they'll catch up. Oh, wait, they'll never catch up because it's impossible to catch the 27-time World Series champions. And especially when they get another one, they'll be 28. And the next team behind them, I think, are the Cardinals with 12. I think it's 12, but I could be wrong. We talked about this on the podcast before, but I think it's 12, and no one's coming close.
All right, if you want to talk about World Series that happened before you were born, all right, that's okay. Because in 1927, when the Yankees won the World Series or whatever, when we all remember that, that's okay. But I'm talking about World Series.
Oh,
Just saying.
so you want to talk about World Series since we were born? Okay, so that's 5 to the Dodgers won, and that's 5 to the Astros real one. We can say 2017 was an asterisk. So the Yankees still have the most rings since we were born. You can't. I'm sorry, you can't argue with that.
Yeah, that's all right. But since 2001, Dodgers Yankees same amount of World Series. So
That is fair. That's a fair point. I really can't argue that one. What I can argue, however, is that the Dodgers have always decided to try to do the same thing as the Yankees and buy their players and haven't come out on top either.
Yeah, and actually they spent more money than the Yankees, I think, in the last like 3 years. And since I don't count 2020, it hasn't really worked out well for them.
well, it's worked out. As I like to say, Dodgers are the greatest regular season team of the past 15 years and the worst playoff team of the past 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm semi cool with that. I'm cool
No,
with
I'm
the
okay with
second
that.
half.
I'm okay with that because look, in the past 15 years, the Yankees in the regular season, they've won what 100 games, I think, twice in the past 15 years. Maybe no, 3 times. Yeah, I believe 3 times in the past 15. They've only won 100 games twice. So I'm okay with that assessment there.
Well, I do hope one day we do get our Yankees Dodgers World Series coming up because that would be nice.
That would be
Because we were
like
robbed of it by
like
those.
the 50s, like the 40s and the 50s.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's a long time ago. Let's have some modern day action.
Back when
East Coast versus West Coast. Let's bring it on. Let's go.
well, we owe the Los Angeles Dodgers for the 1981 World Series. So the Yankees always get their due.
That's right. Now, Oren and Benji have both been telling me about this. I think it's a game, this Immaculate Grid.
Best game. It's so fun.
It is. Yo, did you do the one for today yet?
I did the one for today. I think I got 7 out of 9.
7 out of 9. Did so I got 9 out of 9. I did, and if you want, we can do it again. If you go on to incognito and just wait a bit, you can do it again.
Oh, nice. I got Immaculate. I got 9 out of 9 Immaculate yesterday or 2 days ago. My first time ever. Great feeling.
So for those of you who don't know, Immaculate Grid works. You have 9 boxes, and some like the one for today, you have to say who played on the A's and who played on the Phillies, who played on the Phillies, who played on the Red Sox, who played on the Phillies, and who played on the Reds. And there was also who had a 40 home run season with the Athletics, who had a 40 home run season with the Red Sox, who had a 40 home run season with the Reds, who was in the Hall of Fame for the A's, for the Red Sox, and for the Reds. And they switch it up usually day by day. They have a new one every day. Now, actually, Owen, there is one. If you want to look this up, it's called Infinite Immaculate Grid.
Okay. What is that? Sounds great.
So, Infinite Immaculate Grid is you can do one after the other.
No way. That sounds so fun. I'd waste so much time on that.
Dude, me and my friends did that for like easily an hour. Okay, this player played on this team, that player played here. And one of my favorite, like all time, like easiest go tos, Matt Stairs.
Matt Stairs.
Yeah, dude, he played on like 13 teams.
Yeah. Also, the Immaculate Grid GOAT, Octavio Datel, also played on like 13 teams.
Him too. There's a pitcher.
Ricky Henderson.
Huh?
Ricky Henderson playing on a bunch of teams. Bartolo Colon, a bunch of teams.
Rich Hill now. He's played on
Yep.
a lot of teams.
Yep.
Oh, underrated also, this guy, Royce Clayton. He played on like 9, 10 teams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's very underrated to use. And the one for today, you can go all the way back to the beginning of the game. So for Red Sox Hall of Fame for today, I used Cy Young.
Oh, wow. I used Carly Yastrzemski.
All right, that's a good one too. And actually, yo, what I was telling you, would you can do it again. So I did. I was like, wait, I remember John Smoltz pitched on the Red Sox. I used him 1%.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the 1% are the low percentage ones are the ones you have a good feeling when you do it.
I love those feelings. One of the lowest percentages I got was 0.06%.
Oh, wow.
I think it was Aaron Small, who I only know because he was 10-0 with the Yankees back in like '05, and he pitched on like 6, 7 teams. So I used him. No one remembers this guy. I used him. I got 0.06%, and it was amazing.
Yeah, those like no name guys, like the low percentage guys, are great. Like if it's Dodgers, any team, I'm good no matter what. Dodger any team, I could find those like random guys.
So,
Great.
oh, and also speaking, so the percentages is you have the lower you want to try. I've been trying to do this get under 100, like rarity score. The lower percentage you get, the lower your rarity score will be.
Yeah, and percentage is based off how many other people in the world and of that day guessed a certain player.
Yep. What screwed me up today was the Reds Phillies. I did an easy one. Pete Rose. He was 31%.
Yeah, I forgot him. I didn't do that one. I only got 7. So, you know how I got for Phillies Red Sox?
So
Shane Victor.
yeah, no. Oh, my friend did that one actually.
Yeah.
So one, I didn't really necessarily cheat. What I do is I'll think of the names and be like, wait, did he play for that team? And then look them up really quickly.
Yeah, they also have this other one my friend sent me called Crossover Grid. The same concept. It's the 3x3, but they also have like cool stats like 2+ playoff home runs for the White Sox. I did Paul Konerko.
Oh, wait. Jermaine Dye would also be a great one, wouldn't he?
Probably.
Like crossover grid. I have to look that one up.
Yeah, they have interesting stats. They have like teams and also interesting stats.
Because that one I feel like and just like you said with the with the Dodgers any player, I'm like that with the Yankees any player.
Well, Oren, thank you so much for coming on to Baseball Chat. You were our first guest. You are a Dodger fan. We wish you luck, your Dodgers luck, and we're going to have you on again soon.
Oh, it was a pleasure having you on, and for the rest of the season, you'll be our resident Dodgers expert.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Well, everyone, that's all the time we have for today on Baseball Chat. Thanks so much for joining us.
For the rest of the season.